Hello, 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 greetings. I usually say in the morning, Grand Hood Rising. For those who follow me on Instagram, The Trap Witch. I do daily motivational readings on my story, and then I attach a word of motivation on my actual page in regards to the reading. I do one-on-one sessions with people to tackle their shadows. I'm not a fortune teller, I'm a fact teller. I tell the facts. I always channel subconsciously what spirit has to say and intuitively interpret that as an oracle to whoever may be in need of healing. I'm a shadow worker. I consider myself more a shadow worker than a light worker. I feel like I help people navigate through the shadows in order to stand in their light. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be doing a reading for the new moon in Libra for October 19th, 2017. So it's in like 2 days. We might as well just say in 2 days. So I wanted to get this video out to you a little early to make sure that you have it going in and having in mind what you can expect, or maybe what you need to keep in mind in order to make it the best it possibly can. New moons are great for manifesting. It's great to put out your intentions. This time of year in the fall when things are dying, I feel like because things are dying off and you're killing things in your life, you should just go ahead and you should start manifesting for 2018. Me, myself, I'm already in like February, March 2018. You know, I'm already months ahead, and I know we can only control the present. But when we do get a better grasp on the present, it opens the way for the future and for opportunity and abundance and things to flow. So right now I think it's a great time to be really working on a vision board, just putting out to the universe what you want for 2018, what seeds you can go ahead and start planting and let them flourish in the springtime, okay? So what I usually do is I pull 5 tarot cards, and then I pull an oracle card in order to tie the message together. So I'm going to be reading from the New Orleans Voodoo deck. It's by Sally Ann Glassman. And then I'm going to be pulling from the Archangel deck for our final word to tie it together. I don't even remember who it is that does that deck. It's just the Archangel deck. This is what I'm going to say. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into the cards for you and get that out of the way. Like I said, it's better to hear some truth. A lot of people tell me that I tell them what they've been denying, and it's better to hear the truth that hurts for a little bit and then heal it than to live a comfortable lie. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull the 5 cards, and we're going to pull the oracle, and we're going to see what spirit has to say, okay? I call in spirit on behalf of the collective. I ask for the highest good of all those involved with harm to none. I ask for clarity. I ask for clear perception. I ask Alewa to open the roads to precise messages. I ask, what is it subconsciously below the surface, beyond the veil at this time that can help the collective in moving forward on their journey at this time? What advice, insight, foresight, or things that they should keep in mind going into this new moon in Libra, October 19th, 2017, in this fall season? What can they keep in mind in order to make the best of this point in their journey? What advice, insight, like I said again, for the highest good of all those involved, can be kept in mind? We only call in benevolent energies at this time through this reading, through these cards, and we ask that the Egun of myself assist me in giving the most accurate, precise reading possible in order to help the collective now move forward. Okay, let's go ahead and chop it up there. Okay, cool. And I'll pull the angel card at the end. So, first card we have Ogun La Flambeau. This card in this deck, it talks about the soldier that's returned from war with PTSD. Ogun is a soldier. He's the Orisha of war, battle, weaponry, okay? So it shows him, he's come back from war. He's got one leg. Although he's come back with one leg, he's got the rest of his limbs, right? So how many of us, although we've taken losses, we still cling on to the loss and we don't appreciate the rest of what we have, right? There's been a lot of demolition going on. And I often emphasize, right? Last week I pulled the Tower card a whole fucking lot for the collective. I pulled it a whole fucking lot for my clients. And I talk about the Tower card, right? Where when, say, you're doing demolition, it's better that you can control the explosion and you can preserve what is left to build from. When there's like an involuntary, what's wrong with my mouth, yo? When there's like an involuntary explosion, you can't control what is left and you might be left with nothing. This is a card of PTSD, right? And it's also the Five of Wands in the traditional tarot. And so the Five of Wands often talks about, like, it talks about working in a group, right? And although you might have a common goal, there's a conflict of egos. So how many times have we, like, had a falling out with people, you know, friends, family, whatever? Because although, like, say, for example, you have a home, right? People can't come to an agreement within the home how to run it properly together. So there's a sense of conflict. And I'm having a feeling, you know, based on the other cards, that a lot of people are going to be removing themselves from the conflict. They're not going to be wanting to clash egos anymore. They're going to want to, like, not dance with the devils anymore that they were used to. Because the second card is Guéri la Flambeau, if you can see this card. Guéri la Flambeau shows a woman who's dancing with a man and he's groping his crutch, whatever, his crutch, his dick, whatever, he's grabbing it. And so there's a sense of instant gratification and dancing with the devils that you've been used to. And so a lot of people are realizing that they don't want to be around shit that triggers their devils anymore. They don't want to be caught up in reliving drama and war and all sorts of shit that they've been accustomed to maybe up until this point. And this card talks about taking potentially destructive forces that you've gone through and allowing them to work now in your creative favor. Sometimes something as simple as realizing, you know what, I don't really work good in a group, so I'm going to work by myself. What have I learned about myself when working in a group that I might, you know, have to check my ego, and maybe next time I'm amongst people, I can work things out better. Maybe you're learning that there's a certain type of people you can't fuck with no more. You know, a lot of times it's hard not to take shit personal, especially when it comes to other people. But at no point should you feel like how do I say this? At no point you should feel like you're obligated to dance with these devils, because there's a sense of aggression in his dancing. Like, he's pulling her in, like, come on, peer pressure. And so some of you might be feeling peer pressure to stay amongst a group or stay amongst a type of people when you know that it's like slowly but surely, although you've had you've taken some losses, you might only take more losses if you stay around. Because like with him, it's like, God, you know, he still feels like he's at war. The PTSD, you're still in the environment of dancing with the devils, where slowly but surely, like, it's just going to be triggering where you're going to take more losses and you're going to lose yourself. Does that make sense? And so the third card is the Lover's card. And so there's a sense of wanting harmony, okay? There's a sense of wanting harmony, desiring harmony in your life, whether it be within yourself or with another person. And sometimes you have to remove yourself from the conflict of dancing with the devils that you've been used to, and things that trigger things within you, in order to find balance and harmony within yourself. Sometimes you realize too that you block the blessings of real love and relationships, because I'm getting a sense that this is just like real love, like you coming to a point where you realize that you might be around people that it's just about in the moment. Like, you have friends who only call you when they want to go out somewhere, but you can't call them if you were to be broken down on the side of the road with your car. It's like a sense of not wanting to be caught in any egotistical relationships, any any relationships that are just about short-term satisfactions. You really want to build bonds and unions, and be around people that you're in harmony with. Does this make sense? Like, you know, that make you feel like you're at harmony within yourself. And this is like great that this card came up, being that we're in Libra season. Like, they're in perfect balance and perfect harmony, you know? And so you only want to be you only want to be with people that give a fuck about you. And it's just not about the like people that can put their ego aside, you know. I just keep hearing ego, 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 like conflict of ego. Like right now, you don't need to be conflicted. You don't need to be dancing with devils that make you feel conflicted within yourself, or even conflicted in their relationship. There's just a sense of conflict, and you not needing to be in conflict, because the conflict is going to cause you to involuntarily explode soon. And you know, you just want to go ahead and demolish these types of relationships that aren't serving you at this time. Even within yourself, even if within yourself you are at war with your ego, and it's causing you destruction, when you need to be like creating shit for yourself, and your ego is like wanting to be instantly gratified. You really got to leave that alone, because it's going to leave you imbalanced if you don't. The next card is Elewa, and I love Elewa. Elewa is the master of the crossroads, right? He's the master of the crossroads, and he's the master of messages. So at this time, you really got to ask yourself this: what roads do I want to open? What roads do I want to close? What messages am I getting at this time? Especially in regards to the last card, Madame Leluni. This card talks about, like, you know, an end of a cycle, a return to new beginnings. And so at this time, what roads do you want to close? What roads do you want to open? And so what messages are you getting? Like, you got to sit and ask yourself like this. Maybe in regards to initially, like in the beginning, let's say so-and-so calls you. Hey, you want to go out? Let's go get a drink. Let's go to the net. So let's say every time you go out with this friend and you have a drink, you end up in some bullshit, right? And so you realize that you going out and having this drink with these people in this environment is throwing you off balance. So you ask yourself, yo, every time I go out and I fuck with these people, it wastes my time, my energy. The next day I'm all fucked up. I don't feel good about myself. We don't even really be talking about shit. So you really want to ask yourself, because in the Madame Leluni card, she's sitting there and she's playing with the water. And like, when you play with water like that, it warps the perception of your face. And so how do you see yourself? So I'm getting a sense of like you removing yourself from people, places, things, energies that cause you not to want to see yourself in the light that you wish to be in. If you're feeling imbalanced and stable, and you're being triggered with things within yourself that are like maybe triggering your ego, or triggering addictions, or triggering they're just triggering to how you perceive yourself. Leave them alone. At sometimes too, when the Five of Wands comes up, you know, it talks about, you know, sometimes you gotta remove yourself from the crowd in order to see how things work for you by yourself, in order to then go back and be able to work better with other people, or just a different crowd in general. So I love that the Lovers card came up in the middle. Elewa, you know, he's a trickster energy to some people, but he just wants you to ask the right questions. I always explain it this way, right? Say this is, in Santeria, we use Elewa to divine. We ask them yes or no questions. So say this is Elewa, right? And we say, Elewa, that dude right there, is that my boo? And Elewa goes, yeah, that's your boo. And so 5 months later, you break up, and you come back to Elewa, and you say, yo, Elewa, what the fuck? Like, I broke up with dude. You told me that was my boo. And so Elewa's like, yeah, but you didn't ask the right questions. You didn't ask if he was well fitted for you. You didn't ask, would he be a good father? You didn't ask if he would be a good husband. You didn't ask if he could really, like, you didn't ask all the important questions. So with Elewa popping up, he really wants you to ask the important questions about the harmony and the balance in your life, because that Lovers card coming up is like harmony, balance. things, you know, ask yourself, what's causing you to have conflicts? What's causing you to be short-term satisfied, long-term dissatisfied? You have to ask yourself all these appropriate questions so you can get the answers to how you can gain stability and balance and return to a beginning and end the cycle that's just triggering for you. So let's go ahead and pull an angel card. Oh look, it's only like 15 minutes. Thank God. I didn't really want to be talking that long. So let's go ahead and pull the angel card. What angel card wants to pop out? Let's see. Nurture. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. A lot of people need to just, like, we are getting into the holiday season, and I don't celebrate the holidays like that. But you just want to be in the presence of company that nurtures your soul and your spirit and feeds you. You know, like, so oftentimes we spend in company that's just conflicting to us, that doesn't nurture our mind, our body, our spirit, or our soul, nothing. Like, so at this time, it's like we have to ask ourselves, what do we need? What do we need? You know, like how a parent's just like, say they drop their kid off to the babysitter, they send them to school, whatever the fuck have you. And so it's like, okay, what does the kid need? He needs a juice box, he needs a meal, he needs some snacks. Ask yourself right now what you need for your soul to facilitate your basic needs for you to survive and go forward. Things that are just going to be the simple pleasures that make you happy. Because this Dancing with the Devil instant gratification card, like, you know, sometimes we get caught up in the extra shit that's just so unnecessary. We get caught up in people, places, and things and situations that's just so fucking unnecessary for no reason. And it doesn't do anything to nurture us. It just corrupts our nature even further. It's fucking forced. It's just unnatural. And so right now it's really important to nurture yourself in a way that you find peace, you find balance, you find harmony within yourself, and stop fucking with shit that disturbs your nature, man. Like, nurture. Nurture and nature. Those are going to be the words. Nurture and nature. Yeah. Even in regards to the first card that talked about, you know, PTSD, like, you just got to put yourself in environments that don't trigger your PTSD. You don't need to put yourself in environments or situations that trigger the devils that you are not trying to play with. Like, if you know you ain't trying to have sex right now, you're trying to be celibate or whatever the fuck have you, don't put yourself in a situation where you gonna fuck up. Like, if you're trying to do something or achieve something for yourself or your spirit, whatever, for your goals, don't put yourself in situations that you can't trust yourself. If you feel like you've got the discipline and the willpower, by all means. But don't put yourself in situations where it's going to cause you disharmony of long-term satisfaction and real balance within yourself. That Lover's card, man, I love that fucking Lover's card. You know? Because the Lover's card at the bottom, before I end, you know, there's three. There's two of them, but there's three jars here. So that the third jar is like, you know, bringing something to fruition. Excess, extra. Yeah? So I hope this reading sits with you well. I hope you gain some clarity from it. And so you can follow me on Instagram, The Trap Witch, TheTrapWitch. And yeah, I hope that you get something from my page. I do daily motivations. People say that they help. I do one-on-one sessions. People say that they help. So I'm just here to help. And so if you need help, hit me up. I'm here, help you work through the shadows, tell you the facts. That's what I do. So I hope you have a blessed, beautiful evening, and I hope you have a great full, I want to keep saying full moon, a new moon. Manifest some good shit and close the doors on everything that doesn't serve you. And keep in mind your nurture and your nature. Okay? Peace.